going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you all are having a great day so far, great start to your week, great Monday. In this video, we're going to break down what looks to be the hottest week of the summer, what will continue to be the hottest week of the summer, and it fits well with what climate says. This is around normally the hottest time of the year right now, so it fits well with that. But going forward, over the next few days into the week, it looks to be very hot, looks to be very humid. And we're going to break that down. We're also going to break down the chances of more potential for flooding rains over the next few days, especially as we get into tomorrow. And I'm going to talk about that here too. Actually, a lot of areas had a lot of nasty weather this afternoon here in the Carolinas. Looks like it's dwindling down now, but there was definitely some nasty storms, especially around the Charlotte, Spartanburg areas, even up to the triad of North Carolina. So it looks like it's winding down for tonight, but tomorrow could be some more nasty weather. We're going to break all that down in this video. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. Like the video if you like it. Thank you all for the support even in these slower times right here. But I assure you, things are going to ramp up. I guarantee you around this time next month, we'll be talking about probably something a lot more active pertaining to the tropics. So bear with me. Thank you all for the support, and let's get going here. So we're going to look at the excessive rainfall outlook, and I'm at day 3, and I mean to be at day 2. So let me back it up here. So at day 2, this is for tomorrow. Check it out. Got a marginal, you got slight, you got moderate and high. That's the category right here. So huge area of the marginal. That's our basically a 5 to 10% chance of flash flooding occurring between basically 25 miles at any given location. Then you have the slight risk into central and southern areas of Georgia and extreme southern areas of South Carolina. This might extend a little bit more north, especially if something like the HRRR model actually comes to friction, which I'm about to show you. So we need to watch this, but definitely a big time, a pretty decent flooding risk tomorrow that we need to watch out for, especially the areas in the yellow right here. Looking at the HRRR model run, the latest long range, we're going to go forward here. This is actually the storms from earlier. They dissipate just like the HRRR model has actually done very well with today's event. But as we get into tomorrow afternoon, check out the showers and storms that kind of pop up in the same location. I notice well over here too, there's big time coverage all the way from basically eastern Texas all the way to South Carolina. But look in the South Carolina area. Right now, there's just a general risk of storms. That means there's not really a threat level as in regards to severe weather. But I think tomorrow we might get a marginal risk setting up right in here. We'll see. Not exactly sure, but I think we're going to have a big chance of some nasty storms kind of popping up, kind of where they're falling apart tonight in South Carolina and the Carolinas and even Georgia. So we need to watch out for that, as these storms could produce obviously heavy rain, and they could produce frequent lightning and maybe some damaging wind gusts. So we'll watch this. I think we'll definitely have some severe storms tomorrow, especially in South Carolina. But they get going, they blow up fast, and they last for a few hours, dump a ton of rainfall depending on who they hit. Then they fall apart. But then this is the area down here where the professionals are hinting at the fact that there might be some flash flooding going on here in Georgia and southern areas of South Carolina, especially as you get later into the evening. But as far as rainfall, we'll look at the latest HRRR model. Now, this goes all the way out into Wednesday afternoon. Now, check it out. You got areas that have nothing, and you got areas that are in that pink to purple area, which is 3 to 4 inches of rain. So, 10 miles down the road could be getting nothing, and then 10 miles up the road could be getting an absolute torrential downpour, tropical downpour, where you're getting 1 to 2 inches of rain in under an hour. So it just depends on where you are. And these storms are probably outflow driven, which is what they were today, which means an outflow normally kind of explodes off a storm. It's rain-cooled air. It ignites other convection, and then that convection throws out outflow boundaries, and sometimes it just starts a parade of storms. And sometimes they can train over the same area. So that's what we have to watch out for tomorrow for sure. So next thing we're going to talk about is the heat. Now, this heat this week, if you were outside, especially in North Carolina, South Carolina, before the storms got fired up this afternoon, it was very humid and it got really hot very fast, which normally follows up with some nasty storms in the afternoon. Now, it's not like it's going to be record-breaking heat, the rest of the week. What the problem looks to be, and I don't see any kind of heat advisories or anything like that, but the problem is the fact that it's going to be some higher dew points mixed with some higher temperatures. So if you got dew points in the 70s with high temperatures in the mid 90s, you probably got heat indices probably in the low 100s, which is pretty high. This is the dog days of summer, and climate-wise, this is actually the hottest time of the year for a lot of people in the southeast. So we get into tomorrow, the low, you'll notice it when you wake up in the morning. The low temperatures won't even be that low. It'll be in the mid to upper 70s depending on where you are. In fact, some areas, especially in your coastal areas, might not even get below 80 degrees. So that's just that time of the year. But check out tomorrow. Mid 90s across the board. You get into Wednesday morning, it's just not, it just doesn't cool down much. Now check it out here in South Dakota and North Dakota. It's pretty hot out there too, but they're probably not dealing with any humidity. It's more of a dry heat, but that's still pretty hot. And I think the GFS is overdoing this a little bit, but check it out. As we're getting into midweek this week, some areas might start to flirt with 100 degrees in places in the East Coast here in the Southeast. Meanwhile, you have like a fall front almost moving through the Northeast. So the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, southern areas of Mid-Atlantic are on fire, while the Northeast is getting a little taste of fall up there. But you can tell where the sharp boundary is, where all the hot temperatures are and all the cool temperatures are, right around northern West Virginia to Pennsylvania. So if you're in Pennsylvania, points northeast, you might be a little lucky with this. Looks like you will be, but check it out as we get into Thursday afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to upper 90s across all the Carolinas. This is mixed in with some pretty high dew points, high humidity. So this is probably a little overdone. We'll have to watch, especially, I mean, check out Friday morning, talking about low temperatures only around upper 70s to 80 degrees here in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. That's awful. But look at this heat. Man, it is going to be a hot day Friday. I think Thursday and Friday are going to be the hottest days. So we need to watch out for people who, need to watch out for heat strokes and heat exhaustion, especially for people who walk outside. You're going to feel it this week. If you didn't feel it today, I know I did. I don't work outside anymore. I used to have a job where I worked outside, but I work inside all the time. So I don't feel it as much, but if you work outside, it is going to be brutal the rest of the week. You're going to be hoping you get hit by one of these strong storms. So you mix that with high dew points. You see all these dew points in the 70s. Moving forward here, you notice I'm just cruising through the week, but dew points are in the 60s and 70s. And maybe hopefully by this weekend you get a little drier air that tries to get in, but we'll watch that. One thing I'll briefly go over this. I don't see anything really in the tropics. I am watching a wave that's starting to show up here in the long range on the GFS. It's all showing up kind of on the European model, but nobody's really mentioning it, and it's not worth to mention because it's not consistent and it's way out in the long range. So tropics are still pretty quiet in the Atlantic. So we'll try to watch and see if it stays like that or if it begins to amp up. I mentioned 3 weeks ago or so that we need to start to watch this time frame, and it's still pretty slow. So we'll continue to watch it. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great evening.